If you want to practice speaking English, please consider the Acquire English Club. We have native English teachers, and you can take unlimited classes. That means nearly every day you can have an opportunity to practice English. And for 1 month, it's $9.99 US dollars, that is, for each month. And that's unlimited classes. So as many classes as you want to take. And right now you can try it risk-free for 7 days. If you don't like it, you can quit and we'll give you your money back. So 100% money back guarantee. If you just go to aenglish.club, you can come and start practicing today. There's a lesson nearly every morning and every evening, depending on where you are. So we hope to see you soon at the Acquire English Club. All right. Welcome once again to Acquire English Live. My name is Adam. I'm an English teacher from the United States. I'm here with Tuan, who's an English teacher from the UK. We both live and teach in Japan. And in Japan, weather's getting nice right now. Time to get outside for summer, do some outside activities. Tuan, have you been doing anything recently? Have been getting outside?
I've been going to the beach a few times.
Nice.
Yeah, I live quite close to the beach. Just go for a walk. Yeah, it's nice. The weather's been good.
Are there many people there?
A lot of surfers.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of surfers right now. I think it's in the rainy season. I heard it's a good time to go out surfing. Yeah,
this is kind of the beginning of when, you know, the hardcore surfers in Japan, they're out all the time. They go year round pretty much. But from kind of this season right now is when the normal everyday surfers start going out as well. So I assume a lot more people are going to be out there. Yeah. In your area, there's also, so it's near the beach, but there's also some hiking trails as well. Have you gone to any of those?
No, I haven't. I've been meaning to, but no, I haven't been.
So much.
Yourself? You've been out?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I go just right outside my my back door is a big river. So I go there basically every single Saturday and Sunday and throw some rocks in the river with my kids. That's our normal activity, go walking around. And you can actually walk right out to the middle of the river and stay dry. There's a big sort of island in the middle. So it's kind of fun to go out and explore there. And there's usually, you know, there's some crabs and stuff, occasionally see some turtles, lots of birds, of course, some fish. So it's Tokyo, but there's a little bit of wildlife. So it's kind of nice to see. Definitely where I lived in my old place, I didn't see anything like that at all. I just saw cars and people. So it's kind of shocking now that I live in Tokyo and now I see a lot more wildlife than I ever did before, but it's kind of fun. We've been doing lots of catching a lot of bugs recently. Both of my sons are really into insects now, so they're kind of that age. So it's been fun, pretty fun there. Normal boy stuff. Yeah. So in today's conversation, our two characters are talking about going hiking. So let's give that a listen.
Do you ever go hiking?
Hardly ever. Why?
I always go to the same place. I'm looking for a new trail.
How often do you go?
I go about twice a month.
All right, and let's go ahead and break down that conversation line by line. So the first question was this one here.
Do you ever go hiking?
Do you ever go hiking? So this means, do you go hiking sometimes? So this, do you ever do something? This is actually our grammar point. We'll get into it in more detail here shortly, but it just means even sometimes, do you go hiking, right? Occasionally, even occasionally, do you go hiking? We'll talk about it in more detail here shortly. The next line.
Hardly ever. Why?
So hardly ever. Why? So hardly ever means almost never. So I almost never go hiking. And notice we can answer a question just with that hardly ever. So do you ever go hiking? Hardly ever. So almost never. And then why? Why do you ask? Why do you want to know? I think we've talked about hardly ever in a past episode as well. If you're more interested in that, we've got some videos on hardly ever. The next line.
I always go to the same place.
So I always go to the same place. So I hike the same trail every time, 100% same place every time I go here. And
I'm looking for a new trail.
right, so I'm looking for a new trail. I'm interested in going to a different place. So I always go to the same place. I'm interested in going to a new place. I'm looking for a new trail. And the next line here.
How often do you go?
So how often do you go? Do you go hiking a lot? Do you go hiking every day, occasionally? How often? So once a month, once a week, once a year, how often do you go? And the last line.
I go about twice a month.
So I go about twice a month means I go 2 times in 1 month. You can see in the picture, 1 month, 2 times. So we say twice a month. Of course, we can say twice a week, twice a day, twice a year, like that, twice a month, 2 times a month. Okay, anything to add about the conversation, Tuan?
This conversation also touched upon, I guess, frequency. Yeah, so like you touched upon there. So I think we use sometimes in here, Tuan, and yeah, hardly ever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just a scale of, I don't know, occasionally, often. We can use these different scales to show how often you go.
Right. So we have that always, usually, often, sometimes, hardly ever, and then never, right?
Some people use hardly ever, some people use rarely, or yeah, almost never. But yeah, all three, I guess, is used.
Right. Okay. Let's go ahead and get into the grammar point from this one. And as I said before, we're talking about do you ever. So do you ever plus and then the present tense. So do you ever do something? So this can be a little bit confusing. So do you do something sometimes? So the difference between do you ever and do you do. So for example, do you go hiking? Do you ever go hiking? So when we say, do you go hiking? This means like, is this a normal activity that you do? Is this a regular part of your routine? Do you go hiking? When we use ever, do you ever go hiking? It means even sometimes. Do you occasionally? Did you go in the past? And will you go again in the future, right? So it's a much, not quite as often of a routine. So sometimes you might do something. Did I explain that okay, Tuan? Anything to add there?
Yeah, I thought that was clear. Yeah, I think the difference, like you said, is not so often. So yeah, some more unusual activities like hiking maybe that you don't do every week or not expected to do so often.
Right.
And we're going to have a look at some more unusual things later.
Right. So, and just one more point to say, when we use this question, the person asking the question assumes or doesn't think that the other person does that very often, right? Maybe they do. So for example, if I said, do you ever go hiking? The person might say, oh yeah, I go hiking all the time. I go hiking every weekend, right? But when we use this, do you ever, it's often we just don't think the person does it that often. So it's just, you're assuming they don't do it that often, but maybe it is a frequent habit of theirs. But let's take a look at one more kind of confusing part of English here. So we have, do you ever do something and have you ever done? So maybe you're familiar with these two sentences. So again, do you ever do something means something you did in the past, so possibly more than once, that you will do again, right? So do you ever go hiking? Well, I went hiking in the past. maybe I will do it again, but I don't go so often, right? Have you ever done, we're asking about an experience. So we're saying just before now, even one time. So it's something you did in the past, possibly only once, that you may never do again. Is that okay? So here we're just asking about an experience. Have you ever done? Here we're saying, is this any kind of routine, even a rare routine that you have? So if we look at this example, do you ever go camping? We're asking, did you do this one or more times in the past? And will you probably do it again in the future? Have you ever gone camping? We're just saying, we're just asking, did you do this one or more times in the past? We don't really care about the future in this case, because we're not asking about a habit. We're just asking, do you have this experience? How did I do there, Tuan? Maybe okay?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. The second one, yeah, like you said, experience. It could be a long time. We don't know when. Could be just the once 20 years ago. But yeah, just that experience is fine. Do you ever? Something that is maybe around now.
Right. More recent experience. Right? Okay, so let's go ahead and get into some questions for each other. And what we'd like you to do, if you're watching this, is answer these in the comments. So we're going to ask some do you ever questions. So we have these here. How about the first one? Tuan, do you ever play video games?
That one's not so unusual compared to the other ones, but yeah, I guess it's quite common that lots of people play games now. Yeah, I play games regularly.
What have you been playing recently? Anything?
I've gone back to playing Zelda.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I don't know if you played that so much, but yeah.
Yeah, you let me borrow it, but I didn't. It's kind of too difficult for my kids, and every time I play Nintendo Switch, I have to play with my kids. They won't let me play it by myself, so it was a little too difficult for my 5-year-old or 6-year-old to handle. So
the second one was announced recently, so that's gotten me back into the game. Yeah, nice. To get ready for the second one.
Yeah, I've heard many good things about it.
Yeah, this is good. Do you ever play video games?
Yeah, I do. I play Nintendo Switch a little bit. I'm surprised. I bought a Nintendo Switch for my son, but he doesn't actually want to play it as much as I thought he would. I thought I'd have to have like very strict rules. You know, you can only play for 1 hour a day or 2 hours a day. But usually I'm the one that asks him, I go, do you want to play? Because I kind of want to play sometimes. But yeah, we play a lot of the Mario games. I think my favorite game for Switch has been Luigi's Mansion 3. Have you played that game before?
I know the game, but I haven't played it. Yeah,
it's really fun. Really fun gameplay. It's simple. You can play it for a short time. You know, some games you have to play kind of for hours, but you can play it for 30 minutes and then put it down for a bit. But it's really fun game. It's kind of a lot of puzzles you have to solve, and it's interesting. It's good for sure. How about the next question? Do you want to ask this one, Tuan?
Do you ever lift weights?
If you looked at me, it'd be easy to tell that no, I don't lift weights. I used to, and I want to again, but right now I have zero routine. I haven't gone to a gym for maybe 3 years, but I definitely need to go back. I feel very weak right now. But how about you? Do you ever lift weights?
I have some. I don't lift them as much as I should be, but yeah, maybe sometimes once a week or so.
Okay. Yeah, it's better than me. I lift children. That's about all I lift. That's about all I have. That's my weights. Okay. How about the next one? You have one sibling, correct? You have one sister. So do you ever argue with your sibling? And sibling means a brother or sister. Sibling. So do you ever argue with your sister?
Before we did a lot, I guess, especially living together.
Sure.
It's not easy. Yeah. But I don't know. Now that she's got her family, I'm doing my thing. Yeah, I guess we don't really argue at all. We don't really see each other so much, and yeah, I
Right.
think it's better that we have our own space.
Sure. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's in England and you're in Japan, so it must be hard to argue, right?
Yes. Yeah. How many siblings do you have?
I have 3 older brothers, so there's 4 boys in my family.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Do
So
you ever argue with your brothers?
No, I never really did. My middle 2 brothers used to fight all the time, used to argue and fight all the time. My oldest brother's 10 years older than me, so there's not a lot, growing up, we didn't have much to argue about. He's 18 and I'm 8, so there's kind of nothing to fight about there. But I don't think I really argue with my brothers at all. We didn't, just not that kind of family that fought a lot. So parents as well, pretty relaxing time growing up, not so much arguing.
That's good.
Not compared to how much I argue with my wife, I guess. So.
Okay.
Right. So how about the next one? Do you ever get migraines? And migraines are bad headaches, usually from stress.
Very rarely.
Hmm.
So maybe, I don't know, once every 5 years or so. Yeah, very, very rarely.
That's you're lucky. I get migraines a lot. I used to get them a lot more. I think they come about with me a lot if I'm worried about something. So if I'm kind of worried or stressed out about something, then I get bad headaches. And I also have when I get them, I get dizzy and then I feel kind of motion sick. Like if you're on driving in a car or on an airplane or something, you feel sick. So I get a migraine, but then the migraine makes me feel sick. So then I feel like I'm going to throw up too. So it's bad sometimes. Usually not bad enough to miss work or anything like that, but it's not fun. So you're lucky.
From stress, maybe. Okay.
Yeah, probably stress. I've also heard that migraines are hereditary, means they get passed down, through your genes. So my mother got very bad migraines, still gets migraines sometimes now. So I think it might be might have gotten passed down from my mom. Maybe worrying and being stressed out is also hereditary or some sort of trait that gets passed down. So I'm not sure, but yeah, it's terrible. I can always feel them coming. I get this kind of stiff neck and I think, oh no, here comes another one. But yeah, they're horrible. So how about you? Please let us know in the comments if you get migraines. How about the next one? You can go first this time.
You ever go fishing?
No. Despite living next to a river, I haven't gone fishing for a long time. Maybe since I was in university was probably the last time I went fishing. I think about it, maybe once my youngest son gets a little older, we can start going. There's definitely some fish in the river near me that you can catch and eat. I see people doing it sometimes, but
okay, so you can catch the fish.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if there's any limit, but I don't, Yeah, we went there one time. I don't know. Maybe it was last year. It's probably about a year ago. There was an older guy out there fishing and catching some and cleaning them right there by the river. And he said he's been doing it for 30 or 40 years. So he looked like a healthy guy. Maybe it's okay to eat the fish there. I don't know. There's many people that say, oh, I don't think you should eat the fish in that river, but I think it's probably okay now. The river's got a little bit of a bad reputation in the past, but I think these days it's maybe okay. So how about you? Do you ever go fishing?
I've been fishing, so I've had the experience in the past. My uncle in Canada has a boat. Yeah, I used to go. Well, we went fishing a few times, but in Japan, no. I don't go fishing. Have
you ever been to the restaurants that you can catch the fish, and then whatever fish you catch, they will go cook for you however way you want it.
I've been there once, but we didn't book a table, so it's really popular, so we couldn't get in.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we went there one time. It's kind of interesting experience, but yeah, it
Did
was.
you book a table?
I'm sorry?
Did you book a table?
I think so. It was quite a few years ago, so I don't really remember, but I'm pretty sure we did. But yeah, the fish were not really that delicious. It's more about the experience of they give you a little pole and catching it and net and whatnot. So but yeah, it's kind of cool experience. It's kind of a fun thing to do. I wouldn't go there to eat just for the food, but
yeah,
for the experience, it was fun. Okay, and how about the last one? Do you ever study online?
Not in a regular way, but if I need to learn something quickly, I'll look online for an answer. Maybe with a program, I don't know how to do something, or some problems, I don't know, around the house. Yeah, I'll just have a look.
Yeah, that's one of the best things about YouTube, right? Is there's a tutorial about just about anything you need to know, right? So if I see some kind of rare fruit at the supermarket that I've never had before, then I can just look up, how do you cut this fruit or something. There's always something there to learn. Yeah, I've done a little bit of studying online, not so much recently, but I wanted to learn programming. So I signed up for some courses on Udemy to learn programming. I'm not going to become a programmer, but I just wanted to know kind of the basics of programming. So how a website is built and that type of stuff. So I've done a little bit of studying online. But yeah. And of course, for those people at home, for those people watching right now, if you study online or you want to study online, of course, we do have our courses on Udemy and Skillshare, if you're interested in those. And of course, we have the Acquire English Club that I mentioned at the beginning if you want to practice speaking English. And again, it's native speakers, it's Tuan and I, hopefully some more teachers in the future. And you can take unlimited classes. That means you can take as many classes as you want. And you can try it 7 days for free, no worries, just to try it out. And yeah. It's been the classes have really been a lot of fun recently for me. I always think I mention this. I think we mentioned this every time we talked about it, but just we've both been teaching in Japan for a long time. So talking to people from countries outside of Japan has been really, really fun for me as a teacher. Just learning about different places, learning about different people. We have sort of set some things just set in our mind how some people are from some countries, and I've realized I was very wrong about that in many cases. Yeah, and actually right now there's not a big group of people, so there's lots of opportunities to speak as well. So it's been cool. It's been a lot of fun. So hopefully you will join. Again, you can take classes basically every day depending on your schedule. So good chance to practice speaking English. And that's really the only way you're going to improve your speaking. It's not going to come from a grammar book. It's not going to come from a YouTube video. You're going to improve your speaking by speaking. So we hope to see you there. Anything to add today, Tuan?
Just a quick point about the lesson today. Do you ever, I think most non-native people don't use this. But yeah, just give it a try, use it, expand your phrases, expand your expressions. It's something that's quite natural to say. Give it a try.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you for watching, and we hope to see you next time and in the Acquire English Club. Thank you very much. Bye.